What up? It's Chris. Today I wanted to talk about kind of an interesting thing. This Elation ONYX Obsidian software. So here we are in the middle of June, about to go back out on the road, and I'm buttoning up a lot of local projects that I've had around the Rhode Island area. And one of the things that I've been tasked with has been to program the lighting, some new fixtures for this club downtown. So the deal is that it's a club, and no one's necessarily going to be running lights every night. It's kind of more of a bar club-esque environment as opposed to like, a live concert music venue type thing. So we have been tasked with putting this package together, which consists of some American DJ moving lights and some American DJ pixel strip type things. But the cool part is that this Elation, Obsidian, ONYX, whatever flavor you want to call it, has been spec'd for the gig. And the hardware itself has been an NX Touch, which is kind of a nifty little thing for what it is. I'll go ahead and throw a picture up of the one that I'm actually using. It's quite nice, I think. Has one DMX out and one USB to connect to the computer. The software is where it gets even more interesting. So back in the day, Martin used to kind of do their thing, and they had a little bit of a run with Maxis and the M1. I know I worked at a rental shop that had two M1s that did nothing but collect dust. And the software itself wasn't the most intuitive. Grand MA 2 was, probably at its peak at the time. I guess that Grand MA 2 has really been at its peak for about, 8 years now. So anyways, long story short, Elation bought and rebranded this ONYX software and have made a lot of improvements. There's a lot of great features about this software that I would love to see in MA3. I would love to see just in general, kind of all over the place. So in no way is this a tutorial. I just kind of wanted to go over the basic show file that I made for the club, a little bit of the cues, kind of how I had pre-programmed it before we actually got to the club. I will actually never see it. Well, I'm sure I'll see pictures or videos or something, but I will not be around to see the final thing. I'm leaving to go back on the road tomorrow. And so this is kind of one of the last things that I'm buttoning up around town here. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. So we're looking at the ONYX software here. You can see I just have two groups, my spots, my pixels, and, three groups, and the pixel masters. A couple of different palettes, presets, if you will. Nothing crazy, really, at all. Highlight, everybody's familiar with highlight. 2D plans, this is very similar to layout views in the MA, but this takes it up another notch. There are some really cool features in this, kind of how you build it and stuff like that with the grid and all the tools and how you go about kind of adding fixtures. You can add them in a line. This is really slick, and I kind of wish I had a little bit more of a task here, but the rig kind of is what it is. Envision this as the club, and going across here is just a bunch of strip lights. There's a giant mirror ball where I am circling my mouse, and the three movers on either side are meant for the dance floor / mirror ball. So, the coming from an MA background, this was very intuitive for me. I'm very much of the mindset of do this here. And this software kind of operates in that tone, which I think a lot of programmers kind of think that way. I can't tell you how a hog works. An ETC is kind of like that, with some different kind of language and stuff. But, an MA is very do this here, store this here, move this here. And that's one of the things I like about this software. The effects was very simple. Again, I'm not going to get anything too crazy, but they have a lot of great starter effects. Again, just like all these other consoles, they have a bunch of, stuff built into them, but this just takes it kind of, to a level of ease, a certain level of ease. So, I only have one cue list, and it's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward. It's 10 cues, each run 30 minutes. The idea is that someone comes in, turns the laptop on, presses go button, and then that's it. The club just runs. The lights happen. The art is being shown. So, yeah, this is the cue list window. These are my few cues that I have. So one of the things I like about this particular layout view is that it shows the actual beams, and it shows a little bit of movement. It's kind of like its own mini visualizer in a sense. The pixels were very easy to program. The pixels are what they are. But the movers, per se, that was a little more difficult. And to be fair, I still don't know which way the whips are going to face. In reality, this, that, and the other thing. So I used a little cheat code of mine that I've done a few times before. And I won't have to do this for much longer because I'm just going to man up and buy a real lighting visualizer software that's not Grandimate 3D. Grandimate 3D has taken me so far in life. I will forever be grateful. However, it's time for me to pony up and buy a real visualizer. Anyways, what I have done is I used Grandimate on PC and Grandimate 3D to help visualize kind of some of these movements. Now, again, this is the most basic thing you've ever seen in your life. There's one position for the mirror ball, and there's one position for the dance floor. Some cues, the lights are hitting the mirror ball doing their thing. The other times, the movers are down at the ground, just ballyhooing away. So I want to show you guys this. So you can't see it now, but I'm hitting go on the NX Touch that I have. And right in front of us, you can see, this dope red and blue scene going on. Let me go ahead and switch to our other monitor here. So, yeah, you can see things that are going on in MA3D. If I go to my next cue, I believe these are stopped and go right to the mirror ball. It's a pretty simple trick. I've used it a couple times on festivals to do, ArtNet merges and stuff like that. But, you basically park all your DMX channels in the MA side of things at 0. I patched 6 of these movers in Elation. I patched 6 of these movers at the same address in MA3D or in Grandimate 2. I drew them accordingly in MA3D. And then I have a Grandimate on PC node. So what I did with the little help of a DMX gender bender was I used the output of the DMX on the NX Touch and used it to go into the node as an input. So I just wanted to give you guys a quick visual on the setup here. Again, you can see MA3D whipping around. Same thing happening in ONYX over here. And this is the wing itself. You get the little dust cover. These weird, you can see it's all dusty in my house, but you can see it's like non-touch type faders. This is desirable for the bar. Can't be spilling drinks all over stuff and having it ruin the gig. And I think you can spill drinks all over this stuff without ruining the gig. So that's pretty cool. The faders, to me, for the kind of just on and off type of situation, that's pretty cool. I don't know that I would want to run a show on this. If we grabbed a fixture and put it in the programmer, you'll see that these two light up. And this, I believe, this comes pan and tilt right now. If you had an LED fixture, this would be RGB type stuff. Yeah. So that's the side with the USB and the DMX. You can see, 3 to 5 pin there. XLR going around. XLR to the gender bender. Back to a 3 to 5 coming into the node. And that's how we're kind of doing a little cheating and using the DMX in on Grandimate to get our stuff cooking. So I'm just going to step through the couple cues that I made. Try not to flame me in the comments. This is, just kind of some basic stuff, what the club was looking for. It's not a very big club. I think I did pretty good with, all things considered. Again, I'm just stepping through these cues right now. These cues will change every 30 minutes and the cue stack will loop. So, when you're in the club, it's just kind of turn it on and let it run. I found there was a lot of flexibility within the FX programmer engine in this. Obviously I could make the pixels dance and do all that sorts of stuff in MA2, but I had tried to learn this in about a week and under, and to be honest, for me to achieve some of these results, I think that's pretty good in the time being. I think the software is super intuitive. I think it has a lot of great features. One of the coolest things is I don't have it set up now, but I had a DMX King ArtNet box, and somewhere in the patch, I believe if you go up here, one of the coolest things is I had a DMX King node, and it just recognizes it in the ArtNet tab. I don't exactly remember where the ArtNet tab is. I've only done it a couple times. Oh, yeah. Okay. Ether, DMX. So there's no ArtNet devices available, but if I did have something on the network, you could see it. And to me, that's super cool. I would love to see, just like on the Grand MA2, how I can see how many Grand MA nodes or MPUs or consoles are in session. This allows you to see how many ArtNet boxes and all sorts of stuff that are in session, elation or not, which I think is super, super dope. So yeah, this is it. Just a couple cues, again, nothing too crazy, but I just kind of wanted to give my honest review on this software, because for the dollar amount, this setup is awesome. This is very, very similar to an MA software. A little bit limiting in the effects stuff. I really haven't dived into the Dylos stuff. I've seen the videos. It looks awesome. So, however, we're going back on tour. So I don't know how much farther I'll ever get into this software. However, if you're looking for a cheap, free type DMX software that's simple, this would be the perfect thing to use with Unreal Engine. I believe I'm not sure how many universes there are for free, but you can absolutely get ArtNet out of this software for free. I did it with my DMX King box, and it was great. Now that I have the NX Touch for the time being, I didn't need it anymore. So anyways, I think this is going to wrap this video up. Again, this lighting software is super cool. I would super recommend it for anyone trying to get into DMX inside of Unreal Engine that isn't, the super lighting designer with any gear. You should be able to get some DMX channels bouncing around without any hardware needed. And thanks for checking this out. Going back on the road tomorrow, so I'm going to keep you guys posted. Definitely going to be some Grand MA3 stuff coming up, some more Hippo gigs, some more Hippo content coming up, and stay tuned.